You were working with the Jackass guys. Johnny Knoxville
Right.
was the star for them,
Yep.
and I loved that match.
Thank
And
you.
from my, like I said, from my competitive days, I never thought I would like matches like that. And when I saw it, it was like a breath of fresh air for me. You have worked with some of the best of the best. And we're going to trace back to that. Did you ever think that you would be in a match like this?
No, obviously not. I mean, I couldn't predict 20 years ago when Jackass was huge. I'd be in the ring with Johnny Knoxville in front of, I don't know what, 75,000 people. But I'm really, really proud of that match, actually.
I loved it.
I appreciate that. And I actually I'm kind of defensive about the match, too, because if somebody doesn't like it, this is going to sound very arrogant, but I just think they're stupid. Like, if you didn't like that match, I think you're a bit stupid, at least to the business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because there were people within the business that had some criticism for it. I was like, but how do you not get that?
But there were also people that were in the business that said, "Oh, are y'all going to talk about the WrestleMania 38 match?"
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
I mean, that was one of the best WrestleManias of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, you had the great matches. I loved the Becky Bianca Belair match from a technical point of it being a match.
Yeah.
Seth and Cody was also great, but just as far as sheer enjoyment and Gaga, everything that match encapsulated, that was the most entertaining match on the card. That's the way I take it.
Sure. And so I think I have so much to say about this match, and I don't know. I don't want to sound too defensive or too protective of it, but it's very hard to do that match. You know, it's like it's almost easier at this point for me because I've had a lot of great matches. I kind of know how to have good matches, thankfully. You know, but it's harder to go out there and get people, 75,000 people no less, on their feet for the last 7 minutes of that match with a 51-year-old guy who's never been in the ring.
Yeah.
That's something I wear as a badge of honor.
Oh, and also to build that match and those pops on the near finishes, those were big.
You get it.
Yeah, they bought in.
But you know,
at the highest level.
Yes. So actually, this is my thing. Is like again, I know I'm going to sound kind of defensive about it, but I don't want to reduce it to call it like an entertaining match or a comedy match because it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a match. And like, if you actually look at the beats, and this is one of the things I'm proud of because even people in the business will look at that match and they're not seeing structure. They're not seeing anything. They're just enjoying it because it's got so much stuff going on. But if you actually broke it down from a structural perspective, if I was doing like an anatomy of the match with new students at the PC or something like that, it checks every box.
Yes.
So that's part of why I'm so proud of it. On top of the fact that the guy's not a wrestler. And none of them are.
With that being said, let's throw to some of the action in the match.
Sure. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so the table's set right away. So you understand instantly, that guy's the fighter, that guy's not.
Yeah.
And now I've got him where I want him. So the seconds into the match, we're telling you who, if I've never seen either of these guys, I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And then this is his shine.
Yeah.
Okay, because he doesn't have moves.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir. I get it.
But I've got to tell you, damn.
But I'm loving the sell because we've got the foghorn coming in a minute, and the extra ear sell is money. Okay, good sell job by you here. And what I really like, you're both very slow and deliberate. There's no rush here. And he was very composed in that regard.
Yeah.
And of course, you never rush because you've only got 20 years in the business. Boom. You know, those Jackass guys can take a pound and he lands good into the table, breaks through.
Right. And that's something I want to make a point of illustrating. It's like, yes, this is a celebrity, but it's not any celebrity.
Yeah.
It's a guy who can withstand a lot of punishment.
Absolutely.
And then Party Boy.
Here we go.
This is where the match, I think, takes a real turn, and it's all fireworks from here on out.
It is. And, you know, I think, you know, a lot of the
Even
crowd.
I'm popping now. Am I a mark for myself or what? Because I'm loving it now.
I'm going to say, here's you complaining to the referee about a guy in a G-string. Of course, he's going to rub all over you.
And then I remember, wait a minute, I can kick this guy's ass.
Wham, nice shot. I love those forms and flippers.
I think this is one of the most memorable part of the match right here. And full marks to him because he came like a house of fire.
Good.
He did not hold anything
Dude,
back.
and the crowd's coming for it, too.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
You're taking a hell of an ass whooping here. Got to get away. Powder into the ring. Here he comes. Here we go. Here's the ultimate setup. Here it is. The kick
Look
to
at
the
the
knee,
people.
scoop slam. Here we go.
Man,
This is pure gaga. This is shades of Andre Hogan.
yeah. For the
Big
modern
slam.
age, yeah. Look at that pop,
Look
man.
at that.
It's unbelievable.
When you can see that look and that excitement in the
Yeah.
crowd, you're doing it right.
Right.
And that was a great house. Great house.
Great house.
All right, here you are. Good job splitting the crotch here. This cell here, this is money. Of course, you see, he takes his time. He introduces the bowling ball.
Yeah,
he just doesn't chuck it
yeah,
at you.
he was
but
very composed.
He's like, this is a bowling ball.
Yep.
Strike.
And that could have gone horribly wrong. No jock. No jock.
No jock.
No jock.
All right, here we go. I saw this out there. When I saw that thing ringside, I said, there's no way they can make this work. And it worked out like a charm.
Yeah. God, I'm so proud of this match. See, and here's another thing. Like, this is a huge bump.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. You know? So it's
Boom.
got a little bit of everything.
I love a sell job.
And look, that's what it's all
Yeah,
about right
yeah,
there. That
yeah, this
reaction, man. You know, they're not thinking about anything. They're
Yeah.
they're in it, they're partying.
They're enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. But I like Knoxville, really, all of them maintain their composure. They're not frantic.
And I don't know how much interaction you've had in general with people who are not from the business, that have to do spots in the business. It can go horribly wrong, right?
That's
And-
what I'm
and
saying.
They don't understand timing and they don't understand the beats.
Yeah.
But he was, you know, you gotta give him credit for that.
The biggest gag out here is a mousetrap, and I'm like, how are they going to pull this off? And it works to perfection.
You gotta give Johnny Knoxville a lot of respect for this, and I'll explain there,
Okay.
because that mousetrap, what happened is he pulled the rope and the rope broke.
Ah,
And this is something that, I mean, even if you threw a 10-year veteran, if he waited even 2 extra seconds, finishes dead flat.
Yeah.
But he saw it broke, and he instantly, earlier in the day, I actually saw him talking to his people with the mousetrap thing. He's like, okay, if it doesn't go off, could you just show me how to do it manually? Full marks for not panicking, because that would have killed it right there.
Right.
So he actually saved
Right.
the day with that one.
but also just the comedic sell. There you are, hapless, hopeless,
Yeah.
pinned down, in theory,
Yeah.
and in actuality by this gigantic mousetrap.
Right.
And you're just playing the part to perfection. But to your point, structured of a match,
Yeah.
a pro wrestling match inside this entertaining spectacle.
Right.
But you as a heel, there was a comedic sell, but vicious in your heat
Yeah.
and getting things over like they needed to be.
Yeah. I believe in, like, whatever I'm doing, I have to commit to it fully, right?
Yeah.
But there's this other side of me, and I think this actually goes back. I only realized this maybe a week ago. I was like, oh man, this is something I've had since high school. With this thing of, like, carrying myself and, being in this
Yeah.
business, carrying yourself a certain way to be taken seriously,
Yes.
or to get respect. And I know, like, this might not be the way to do it if I wanted to, let's say, be on top and I want to work a program with Roman, or I want to work a program with Brock.
Yeah.
They might go, well, look what you're doing.
Great
But
shot,
I'd
yeah.
rather do that and do it well and have it be something that's going to be remembered probably for the next 10 years.
Right.
Right? Because there's not really a match like this.
When a guy like Vince brings, he's the guy that's going to say, here's what's happening, here's how it's
Yeah.
going to happen. What was his reaction to the match? Gangbusters,
Yeah.
standing O.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you come back to Gorilla, you can get the standing O, or you can
Standing
get
O.
people looking at standing
No,
O.
standing O, yeah.
Did you know, you obviously probably knew you were crushing it when you were out there.
Yeah.
Or was it reaffirmed when you got to Gorilla?
Yeah, and by people whose opinions I respect. Because again, it's so easy to miss the mark on this.
Right.
It's so easy for even old timers, like the one person, because I look up to Brett a lot, right?
Yeah.
The one thing in the back of my head after this match is like, I wonder what Brett thought of this match. Like, because Brett
Yeah.
likes serious wrestling, and
Yeah.
he's like, I know this is good, but I bet Brett kind of looks down on this, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him about it, but that's like the only thing in the back of my head. But Vince, he said it was a work of art. That was a work of art, and it was. It really was.
But,
yeah.
but sometimes it seems like you and Brett maybe think a lot alike when setting matches up. I mean, when I
Maybe,
go to some of
yeah,
your best matches, I mean, your
yeah,
technical matches,
yeah.
which have a little bit of everything in the way Brett always laid his out. It was really interesting working with him for myself, speaking because Brett really looked at the canvas of the 20 by 20
Yeah.
as it just being a canvas, and then we were going to go out there and color in it and
Yeah.
and make a piece of art.
Yeah.
And I think that was Brett's approach to the business.
Yeah.
How so? What would you say your approach to it is?
Yeah, I would say
To me, I'm
probably.
just going out there raising hell, trying to tell a quick story, and
It really depends on the circumstance, right? And the story and everything like that. Like to me, this is a work of art, and this is a canvas, and
Yep.
you really could have done anything. And it was, it was like 18 minutes or something. It was kind of long, and it didn't really feel long, but it's this, especially with Knoxville and Jackass. Like, oh wow, this is an even bigger canvas than normal because you can do things that are out of context that you can't do
Right.
if I'm working Seth Rollins or if I'm working AJ Styles.
Right.
So the room to do so much artistic things or out of the box things was really, really evident in this match. But I think generally that's how I approach. I don't know. It really depends. It's circumstantial.
How do you top something like this? Because if you go look at your resume of matches, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got some barn burners with a lot of different people in a lot of different territories. So as far as something like this goes, how in your head do you top this? Well,
How do you top that?
Would you ever think that you'll be involved in another match like this, or is like, hey man, let's back to what I'm used to doing?
Honest to God, I don't know. I will say, and I had this talk with Kevin, and it's ironic because Kevin worked you on this same event. But I was like, in a weird way, I feel at peace because I know I'll never have a better match than that at WrestleMania. Like that's as good as it gets. And he said the same thing about yours.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care if I don't care what I do from here on out.
Yeah.
I have that and there's no topping it. So whatever is fine from here on out. And look, I might have bigger matches or better, technical wrestling
Yeah.
matches. But for me, this is one of the proudest things I've ever done on the biggest stage you could possibly do it with. I just don't know how it gets better in a way. Other than like if Brett comes out of retirement or you want to have another go around
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
But it really felt like a feather in my cap. And if I don't ever do another WrestleMania or I never win the world title or whatever, it's okay with me because I'll always have this.
Right.
This will stand the test of time.